Shalom, shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Makakwadash. Double honor and salutations to the elders and apostles. Sincere shalom to the hopeful elect. This will be a quick video just following up with this lesson I just did on fire and brimstone. And I made a mistake in that lesson because I did it right on a dime while I was at work, so I had to rush it. But the point I was trying to make in that video dealing with the missiles is to tie Sodom and Gomorrah and Babylon the Great, which is known as the Great City in Revelations 11 and 8, to the same fate as Sodom and Gomorrah. In the video I showed you in that lesson of those missiles, okay, in certain parts of the scriptures, it speaks about, which maybe I can come back and bring out more scriptures, okay, dealing with directly the word brimstone. Well, brimstone is sulfur. I just looked it up. Okay, sulfur, which is created by immense heat. Okay, sulfur is highly flammable, and Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, the Most High didn't use nuclear missiles to destroy it. All right, Sodom and Gomorrah, and you can research it yourself. As a matter of fact, I was just watching a video. Where was I watching that at? 1 second. Okay, here it is. Brimstone. Let's get that.
A Mississippi man has been charged with fourth-degree criminal mischief for the incident. Governor Kim Reynolds has called for residents.
So really, I wasn't going to play no video, but this just reminded me. The point I'm trying to make is brimstone. When you watch the video that I did with the missiles, let me get this scripture. Okay, because those missiles look like rocks, hot rocks coming out of the sky. There's particular scriptures that speak of the Most High raining down brimstone or raining down his judgment, which is synonymous with those missiles. Okay, because a person, these people are waiting for a big comet to come and hit the earth, or they don't believe that heat could just fall from the sky. Well, if you look at those missiles in that video, look exactly like that fire and brimstone. Okay, in the scriptures. All right, in modern day, like Revelations, you'll see it in my lesson. Okay, the Lord speaks about how he's going to rain hail. Okay, those missiles are likened unto brimstone, fire and brimstone, hail. Okay, arrows, glittering spears, bow of steel. All right, so this will be very short. Let me just get this because I'm going to tie Babylon the Great with, ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, which to this very day is still not inhabitable because the amount of sulfur that's in the soil. And that video I was getting ready to show you is actually showing you the actual geographic location. I might not show it right now. You can research it. But Sodom and Gomorrah, which the Bible in Genesis said would never be inhabited again, okay, because of the way that place was destroyed. All right. And you have archaeologists that go over there and show you the structures that it actually was a city. And they also are able to just dig right into the soil and pull up sulfur. Some of the purest sulfur, or the most purest sulfur on earth, meaning that it got very hot and it rained down from heaven. And see, these missiles, right, they're going to burn hotter than that. Okay. And America will no longer be inhabitable. All right, let's get this. Okay, right here in 29, it speaks about bending the bow, call together the archers against Babylon, aka America, which that's parabolic talk for the missiles, because a modern day missile is nothing but a bow and arrow with technology behind it, with propulsion behind it. Okay. All right, let's get this and move on. Damn. It says, Jeremiah 50 and 39, therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the isles shall dwell therein, and it shall no more be inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. And this is talking about Babylon the Great. It says, as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord Yahweh. So shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell there. See, because the land, when you have so much brimstone, which is sulfur in the land, it's highly flammable. Okay, just like that guy in the video. Let me announce the brother's page. If you want to see this whole video, it's just bringing out videos. Hey, see, that's the spirit. You see that piece of sulfur that dude is holding to the left? If I played it, okay, he'll show you actual ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, how that place is destroyed. But the whole video is just bringing out some really good facts of why America's going to be destroyed. Let me get this last scripture and we out. I just had to cover that up because, when I did the lesson, I was rushing it and I didn't go into brimstone. I was really speaking about the arrows and the hell, which are other synonymous words with the missiles. Let's get this. Okay. For behold, Malachi 4:1, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. Okay, and the oven that it's talking about right here is an ancient world oven. It's not talking about your oven you got in your house that only go up to like 400, 500 degrees. And then you throw it on broil. Okay, an ancient oven would get up to, I believe, almost 2,000 degrees, even more. Okay, and the way you built it, you can increase the heat. Okay, hence is how, you had smiths able to shape iron and metal. So you got to get that thing really hot. And I remember Elder Tahar went into a video going into how iron, it was iron or steel, you can't melt, because he was bringing out the example of the towers, the trade center. And he was just bringing out how you can't melt steel beams. But he was saying that these missiles are going to be so hot, it's going to melt the steel. Okay. And he was doing the research going into the temperatures that you would need you can't even melt the steel. Okay. You can only soften it, like weaken it, soften it, you shape it or whatever, but you can't melt it. And it was approximately around the same degrees that an ancient world oven would get just to do that. So these missiles are going to be so hot because the Most High is going to have a spirit in there. Okay. It says, and the day cometh that shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh of armies, that it shall leave them neither root or branch. Okay, and when you go through different parts of the scriptures, it speaks about the only creatures that's going to be, here in America forever and ever is never going to be inhabited are desert-like creatures. The dragons of the wilderness, which are desert creatures like lizards and, stuff like that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you. That brimstone, and it's following that other lesson, the lesson I did before this. I'll try to put it in the title. And with that, we out. Shalom, peace, blessings to the hopeful elect. Be back with you with another lesson. Shalom.